EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martich here with your outlook for March 5th, 2020. For your Thursday, expecting mostly sunny skies across the region today. We're going to be in between systems, one to the south and one far to our northwest. These are the same two systems we'll be talking about all week that maybe produces something on Friday, and they're going to interact eventually well offshore in the form of an inverted trough that's going to be over our region and could bring some rain or snow showers depending on where your location is. Now, the northern stream system is not going to meet up with the southern stream system in time to get a big snowstorm across the region. So that is out the window. That has been out the window for a couple days. What we're looking for now as we move this forward is as this system moves well offshore and this system dives into it, the two are going to interact eventually offshore. But because it's interacting late, you have a little bit of an inverted trough setting up here that's going to interact with this low that is offshore right here, and along that inverted trough there could be some rain or snow showers that will affect the region, different parts of the region. So it's going to be rain further south and snow further north, but that won't be entirely accurate once we get to the evening. Once we get to the evening, the temperatures cool and we'll have an opportunity for snow a little bit further south of I-78. I-78 seems to be the marker for this one. As has been the case for many times this year. North of 78 has done decent, not great, but decent. South of 78, not so much. So this is probably our last wintry threat this season, and this will end in the overnight hours here in a little bit after midnight, and then we will be back to mostly sunny skies here on Saturday. So let's get over the NAM high-res future simulator radar, and we'll start this off at 9 a.m. and you have a little bit of activity here along the inverted trough starting to form at this point. As we move forward in time, this is now 10 a.m. And by the way, I mentioned this in the last video, timestamps are now included in the upper right hand corner of these images, so you can follow along with what the time is. The only problem with this is you're going to have to subtract time from this. This is 15Z Friday, March 6th, which means that it is 10 a.m. Okay, so you have to subtract 5 hours. This is in 24-hour time, by the way. It's 24-hour universal time, so you have to subtract 5 hours from what it's showing here to show you the actual time. So 15Z is actually 1000 or 10Z, or excuse me, 1000 or 10 a.m. Okay, so that's the time that we're looking at here on this timestamp. So we move forward from this point. Here is 11, here's 12, here is 1, 2, 3. You can see some snow along a very narrow band, and that's what an inverted trough is. It's a very narrow band where the precipitation is coming down, and wherever this sets up is going to dictate who's getting precipitation, who's not. You have rising air underneath that little dotted line I drew, which is the inverted trough. On either side, on these columns on either side of this, there is sinking air in between these areas here, so you're not getting any precipitation or very little on either side of the deformation band. So where this sets up is going to be critical as far as the forecast goes. So this is a last-minute thing. That's why we have not put any maps out for this yet. It also looks like the dividing line is going to be I-78 as far as, which it runs kind of like this. Here's I-78, kind of runs like that. North of I-78, you're probably falling as snow. Whether it's sticking or not is another story altogether. And I think it's going to be a lot of white rain situation when you're in lower elevations. Once you get to higher elevations, though, where it's a little colder on Friday. Remember, it's falling during the day, during the month of March. Sun angle's a little higher, so it's going to be harder to get accumulations, even at elevations. But I do think you see some non-paved surface accumulations up here in the Poconos, north of I-78. In the middle here, there's going to be a mixture of rain and snow, at least initially. And that's going to be right here along 78. Further south of 78, you're just rain because it's going to be too warm to produce any snowfall. So it could be a lot of white rain situations here that we're dealing with on Friday during the day. Once we reach dusk, this is going to kind of reload and shift south, and you can see that here. And it's been showing you this in the last couple runs here. Now the NAM's kind of at max range right now, so it's to show that it's going to be in a certain area here is going to be a fruitful effort because it's like I said, it's a very narrow band. Where it sets up exactly is going to determine who gets snow and who doesn't. And we're not talking about a lot of snow with this. but there could be some snow showers that go into the evening. So we're looking at here, it is 02Z Saturday, so that's 9 p.m., and you have some rain/snow showers changing over to snow showers, and that might get pretty far south as this inverted trough continues off to the south with time, and that goes a little bit past midnight. So you could get some accumulations pretty south with that, pretty far south, but it's probably going to be mostly non-paved surface accumulations, a lot of coating to inch type stuff. Not a lot of snow with this. Might get in the elevations, might get a little bit above an inch to 2, 2.5, 3 at most. I don't see this being a big deal. But this is probably our last gasp effort as far as winter precipitation goes. We are mostly sunny over the weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday is going to be cooler on Saturday with that trough still in place. You can see that trough here on Saturday still sticking around here. It's in the process of lifting out to the north and east, though, and we're going to have a much different day here on Sunday, even though mostly sunny skies are going to be around on both days. Sunday's going to be much warmer with temperatures well into the 50s as that trough is completely clear of the region. And then once we get to Monday, we are partly cloudy, but it is going to be very warm on Monday with temperatures in the middle 60s for many locations, maybe even upper 60s to near 70 in our far southeastern areas. So very warm day here on Monday ahead of this next system coming in. This is actually a frontal boundary, and that cold front will move through here during the day here on Tuesday with a few scattered showers. Not a lot of precipitation with it as it looks right now, but it does look like it's going to stay on the mild side. So by the time we get to the end of the week next week, the GFS was showing a major snowstorm here earlier today, and we called BS on that because it doesn't look like the pattern is favorable for anything. It has absolutely no support for that idea, so I'm not going to show it, but this is the European model depiction for that same day. You can see the height field as far as the 540 line, which is the magical rain snow line, is way up north here. This is up in, northern New England is even rain here. If you're raining up here, Watertown, New York, there's absolutely no chance of getting any snow down in here in our coverage area down here. Okay, so it is what it is. The 540 line, which runs right about like up here, would suggest that any snow would be found north of southern New England or northern New England, which would mean that southern Canada would get involved in that. So places like Toronto, Ontario, Montreal would get into some snow from this in this scenario. We're going to continue to monitor this. This is the system everybody keeps talking about. You might see some comments on the Facebook page about, hey, what's going on the 12th? Right now, we don't think there's any credibility to anything the GFS was showing with any snow events. So we think it's going to be too, too warm for that. And the 12th will just be another system that brings rain to the region. But we'll continue to monitor that throughout the week. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marchers. That is our outlook for March 5th, 2020. Have a great Thursday.